The real estate industry is changing faster than most agents realize. And if you're not paying attention right now, you could wake up one day and realize the brokerage you built your career around has completely changed underneath you. Because in the last few months, Real Broker acquired Remax, Compass absorbed Anywhere Real Estate, Rocket bought Redfin, massive private equity money started pouring into brokerages, and here's the scary part. Most agents still think this is just industry news. It's not. What's happening right now isn't random. This is the natural evolution of an industry under massive pressure. And if you understand the forces behind it early, you position yourself ahead of the curve instead of reacting after the fact. So let's connect the dots. Let's start with the headlines everyone's seeing. Real Broker announced the acquisition of Remax. Compass acquired Anywhere Real Estate. And what most agents don't realize is that Anywhere wasn't just one company. That included Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Sotheby's International Realty, ERA, Better Homes and Gardens. That's hundreds of thousands of agents suddenly being pulled under larger umbrellas. And this isn't isolated. Rocket bought Redfin. Keller Williams brought in major private equity. And consolidation is accelerating everywhere. Now think about this for a second. If 3 of the 4 major airlines merged within a short period of time, everyone would immediately understand something massive was happening. That's essentially what's happening in real estate right now, but because it's happening quietly through acquisitions, technology, and corporate restructuring, most agents haven't fully processed the implications yet. And that's exactly why this conversation matters. This isn't random. There are major structural pressures forcing the industry to evolve. Let me break down the 4 biggest ones. Traditional brokerage models have been under pressure for years. Transaction volume dropped, interest rates hurt affordability, margins got squeezed, and when fewer homes sell, brokerage profitability gets hit hard. A lot of traditional models simply became too expensive to maintain efficiently. The NAR settlement changed the conversation around commissions permanently. Whether people agree with it or not, it forced brokerages to justify their value more clearly than ever before. And companies that lacked innovation or strong systems suddenly became vulnerable. This one is huge. Brokerages are no longer just competing on brand name. Now they're competing on AI, CRM systems, automation, marketing systems, consumer experience, data, lead generation, integrated ecosystems, and building world-class technology is expensive, very expensive, which means scale suddenly matters more than ever. In difficult markets, bigger companies gain advantages smaller firms struggle to match. Better recruiting power, more leverage, more capital, more technology, better operational efficiency. And history shows this happens in almost every industry eventually. Telecom, banking, streaming, retail, industries consolidate. The question becomes who survives and what kind of model survives. And this is where agents need to stop thinking emotionally about brokerages and start thinking structurally, because the model matters more than the logo. Now here's the part almost nobody talks about. Mergers are expensive, really expensive, and when companies spend hundreds of millions or billions of dollars acquiring competitors, that pressure doesn't magically disappear. Historically, it eventually flows downstream, usually through increased fees, reduced support, tighter splits, cost-cutting, program changes, operational restructuring, and we're already seeing examples of this. After Compass closed the Anywhere acquisition, cost-cutting measures and workforce reductions started happening quickly because public companies have to make the math work. That's the reality. Now, to be fair, this doesn't automatically make these companies bad. The market became difficult. Every brokerage had to respond somehow. Some chose acquisitions, others focused on organic scaling. The important question isn't who's good or bad. The real question is, what does this model require the company to do in order to survive and grow? Because that answer directly impacts agents. And there's another uncomfortable question most agents never ask. When your brokerage gets acquired, who actually benefits the most? The shareholders, the executives, the agents. That's not being cynical. That's being smart. So now let me give you the framework I promised. This is the simplest way I've found to evaluate any brokerage moving forward. I call it the 3P platform. Path, position. Platform means what technology and systems does the brokerage actually provide? And more importantly, was the company built cloud first, or did they bolt technology onto an old infrastructure later? Because there's a massive difference. One feels integrated, the other feels patched together. Path asks, is there a way to grow income beyond your own transactions? Because if the only way you ever earn money is selling another home yourself, then you don't really own a scalable business. You own a job. The question becomes, does the brokerage create opportunities for long-term leverage? This is the biggest one. When the company grows, do you benefit, or are you simply helping build value for shareholders while you stay in the same position? This question changes how you look at everything, because ultimately, are you participating in the company, or are you helping own what's being built? Now let's apply the framework broadly. Traditional franchise brokerage, platform, often legacy systems with newer tools layered on top. Path, usually limited to personal production. Position, very little ownership participation for the average agent. Mega brokerage or consolidation models. Platform, strong technology investment, but also significant Wall Street pressure and integration complexity. Path, some additional opportunity. Position, in many cases, agents still primarily function inside someone else's ecosystem. Cloud-based, agent-centric models. Platform, built cloud first from the beginning. Path, multiple potential income streams and scalability. Position, agents can participate in equity, ownership structures, and long-term growth. And this is why I personally believe the industry is moving toward more agent-centric, cloud-based structures over time. Not because of hype, not because of recruiting, but because structurally, the model aligns with where the market appears to be heading. Now, obviously, I'm not neutral here. I've been at eXp for years, but instead of giving you a sales pitch, let me explain the structural reasons I personally believe eXp is positioned well moving forward. Reason one, the model was built, not bought. A lot of companies are now trying to acquire scale. eXp built scale organically from the beginning. That's a very different foundation. Reason two, cloud-first infrastructure, no franchise layer, no massive office overhead, no complicated legacy integration problems. That creates operational simplicity. Reason three, agent participation. One of the things that attracted me to eXp was the idea that agents could participate in the growth of the company itself, revenue share, stock opportunities, equity participation. Whether someone values those things or not is personal. But structurally, it creates alignment between company growth and agent benefit. Reason four, modern business building. The future of real estate isn't just transactions, it's audience, brand, attention, content, trust, community, and the agents who understand modern marketing are going to have a massive advantage moving forward. That's one of the biggest reasons I continue building here. And if you want to understand how these models actually work in detail, book a call below and we'll walk through it together. Whether you're at Remax, Compass, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, eXp, or anywhere else, these are the questions I think every agent should seriously ask themselves right now. Question one, if my brokerage gets acquired, who benefits the most? Question two, is my brokerage's technology actually future-proof? Question three, am I building equity or only commissions? Question four, if I started over today knowing everything I know now, would I still choose this model? That last question is uncomfortable, but it's honest. And honestly, most agents have never really stopped long enough to ask it. At the end of the day, here's what I want you to remember. You are the brand, not the brokerage, but the environment you choose absolutely impacts your growth, your opportunities, your leverage, your future. And right now, the industry is clearly shifting. The companies without strong models appear to be trying to buy one. The companies with strong models already built don't necessarily need to. That doesn't mean there's only one right answer, but it does mean agents should start thinking more deeply about the structure underneath the brand they're attached to. So if you want to talk through your specific situation privately, book a free strategy call below. And if you want a full breakdown of the eXp model, revenue share, stock, compensation, and how the structure actually works in detail, watch the next video on screen right now. I'll see you there.